Welcome back again to Bawashiri Electric. Today we are going to have another circuit. Actually, we are going to look at sequential control, whereby in case we have three loads, when you switch on, the first one goes on, the second one goes on, the third goes on at intervals automatically. Then as we switch off, the last one goes off, the second one goes off, then the first one goes off. Such circuits are used in conveyor controls and also resistance connection in slip ring motors. So I'm using XG500 software for my ladder logic programming. It programs XGB PLCs. So we can go ahead and open a new project. I think we can name it sequential. The name does not matter, that one will go. Yeah, so that is our ladder logic writing window. So now we are going to start by a self-holding circuit. So we are going to have a normally closed. Yeah, we are going to call it the stop. And now you can call this one emergency. Then we can give it address P0. Yes, then we can have the start. Then we give it address P1. Then we can have a memory. It can act as a memory. In the real wiring, it can act as a relay. So we are going to call it memory, that's M0. So it's the one that's going to help us hold. That's a self-holding contact for the memory. So now we are going to have three loads. Shall we have contactor 1 and call it MC1. We'll give it address P20. Then we can have MC2, give it address P21. Then we can have MC3, to give it address P22. So all these ones shall be controlled by the memory, of course. So shall we put here memory contact, normally open. So allow me put here a function end. So that shows our program is going to end somewhere there. So here we are going to deal actually mainly with the timers. It is the timers that are going to be powering our contactors. For example, let me first have this view. Yeah, just wanted to be seeing the addresses. So now we are going to have the first timer. I'm going to come here at function F10. Put TON, that's timer on delay. We call it timer 1. We are going to give it 20 milliseconds maybe. We are going to have another one, TON, timers. We're going to call it T2, and we are going to give it also 10 milliseconds maybe. Then also we are going to have another set of timer, that's TON, you can call it T3, also give it 20 milliseconds. And we have another one, TON, T4, 20 milliseconds. Okay, these red lines and the sides mean that your line is not correct, something is missing, but you are still programming. we shall see how to go with that. So that is it. We are going to use 4 timers, we are going to use 3 contactors, then we have up a direct online, this one to act as our self-holding. So now what happens here is immediately you switch on the start button, which is P0001. It has to immediately switch on contactor 1, MC1, as well as it switches on timer 1. So let's do that and see. Before you got that, we know all our loads are controlled by the memory. We are putting normally open of the memory, meaning that when the first rung, that is our self-holding rung, when it is off, all the things have to be off. So now, as soon as you power on the memory, our timer on has to go on, and also MC1 has to be on. So after that, timer 1 is going to power on timer 2 with MC2. Are you getting? So that means here we are going to put a normally open of timer 1, that was T1. It is going to power on timer 2, and timer 1, as it powers on timer 2, it also powers on MC2. So I put here timer 1. Are you getting? So now after timer 2 being powered, it is the one that is going to power MC3. Are you getting? It's going to power MC3. So at MC3 we shall have a normal open of timer 2, that is T2. Hope we are clear. So I think the starting sequence is done, so we can start the stopping sequence. Let me insert some new lines here. So here we are going to have, this one is also controlled by the memory. So here we are going to have a stop button. You can call it P3. Then it's going to power memory 2, that is M2. And also in the same way, memory 2 is going to self-hold itself. Are you getting? Yeah, so that is it. So this memory 2, when you switch it on, immediately it has to power off the MC3. So here we are going to have a normally closed of memory 2. Are you getting? At the same time, it will have to power on timer 3. So here we shall have a normally open of memory 2. So now it is the timer 3 that has to power on timer 4. So here we shall have timer 3, that is T3. It's going to power on timer 4. At the same time, it's going to switch off. So that is normally closed of timer 3. So at the same time, it's going to switch off MC2. Are you getting? Then we said it powers timer 4, at the same time switches off MC2. So it is now timer 4 that is going to switch off MC1. So here we shall have a normally closed of timer 4, that is T4. Hope we are moving smoothly. So after that, when timer 4 is powered on, as it switches off MC1, it also has to switch off the general process. Everything has to be switched off. So we shall have here timer 4. Are we getting? So our main self-holding circuit is controlled by timer. We have here the start button P01, have the stop P3, then you have the emergency P00, then you have the 3 loads MC1, MC2, MC3. For easy viewing in simulation, allow me cut this and put it here near the switches. Start line. And put the relay line this. My mouth is a bit disturbing. Somebody to sponsor me with a new mouth, I shall say thank you. So I can put my contactors there, so that in a case we are simulating, it doesn't do any change, it doesn't change anything. I just wanted them to be nearer so that when you click start and stop, you can easily see here what is happening without scrolling up and down, up and down. Yeah, also neatness matters sometimes. So I think we are ready to simulate our circuit. Yeah, so now we can go to simulation, start stop simulator. It is loading. Say okay. Writing to the PLC, writing complete. Yeah, so this is the simulation screen. So now to press start, you can right click and say change current value. For me, I double click enter button. When I click enter, that is on. Again I click, that's off. So you can see MC1 on, MC2 on, MC3 on, one at a go. Then when you click stop, you see MC3 was the first, then MC2 the first, then MC1 the first. Hope you are getting. Let's press start, we see again MC1, MC2, MC3. When you press stop, MC1, MC2, MC3, and everything goes off. What does emergency do? Emergency switches them off at once without following the procedure. In case when there is a problem and you press emergency, everything goes on at once. Hope you have seen. Thanks for watching. Wait for part 2. Actually in part 2 we are going to have the HMI view, HMI control panel programming, and in HMI it is your graphics that matter. So watch out for part 2. Thanks for watching.